We start tonight on the Storm Watch. Today was a day to try and clean up and prepare for what comes next. We are tracking another big storm bringing high winds, heavy rain and snow tomorrow. Good evening. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. Thank you for joining us. A live look tonight over Northern California. No precipitation falling right now, but we are far from dry.
And look at the tower cam there. So hard to even see anything. The fog has rolled into the valley. And keep in mind, we are just hours away from the next storm. Meteorologist Brendan Mincheff is standing by tonight. And Brendan, it's a good time to bring in that patio furniture or anything that could blow away, huh?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The next storm is on the way. You can see it here out over the open Pacific right now, but the intense band of precipitation and all that moisture with it is working its way to California. Again, it's going to be here in just a few hours. Right now, it is clear on satellite and radar as well, but we do have some fog making its way in. Temperatures right now 45 in Sacramento, 46 in Elk Grove, 48 in Jackson, 46 in Placerville right now, 43 in Stockton, 51 out in San Francisco right now. Here's current visibility. You can see 7-mile visibility in Sacramento right now, about 1 mile down in Stockton, same in Modesto. So we are getting some fog developing in the valley right now ahead of the next storm. That again is just around the corner as we take a look at Futurecast overnight tonight. By the time we get in towards 4, 5, 6 in the morning, the first band of rain will be making its way into the valley ahead of the warm front. That'll push through the morning hours. It'll be light to moderate rain for much of the morning. Then a bit of a pause between rain as we work through the afternoon hours, but the winds will be picking up through the afternoon ahead of the cold front and all of the rain associated with that. This will be much heavier rain that pushes through in the evening and overnight hours Wednesday into Thursday, and the winds will be gusting up to 60 miles per hour. It is going to be very, very windy out there, so a lot of rain to come along with that wind. You can see the excessive rainfall outlook, especially on the coast, is a level 3 moderate, while much of the valley looking at a level 2 slight. Now, in terms of how much rain we could see by the time we get done with this storm, 2 inches or more looks likely in the valley. But another storm on tap for the weekend is going to bring that total closer to 5 inches, and there's even more rain beyond that. So lots of weather to talk about. Wind, rain, and snow. We'll get more detailed on all that later on in the show. Chris and Laura.
To help keep you safe with more rain and potential flooding on the way, state experts are stepping up their efforts. Today, the California Department of Water Resources says its Flood Operations Center is now fully activated. This means an elevated level of coordinated efforts with local agencies.
The Flood Ops Center is the heart of flood response for the state. Ever since this series of storms started last week, its team has been watching a flood system of 1,600 miles of levees and other features, a system experts believe will stand strong against this week's storm.
With that flood system that's designed to take pressure off the main stem rivers of the San Joaquin and the Sacramento, there is a fair amount of capacity in the system, certainly to handle the anticipated forecasted flows for this week.
A big part of what the center does to keep you safe during high water is facilitate discussions between reservoir operators. The center makes sure all the appropriate agencies are talking together and not making decisions alone.
You know, some of the things we've done, flood fight materials and equipment have been pre-positioned at 38 locations statewide. Levee inspectors have been deployed and are actively performing levee inspections across the state. Flood fight specialists have been deployed to help locals assess critical locations along leveed segments of flood control systems.
You'll remember that flooding in Wilton we first told you about over the weekend, which left several residents stranded at home with no way out.
I wanted to follow up on the levee breaches in Wilton. We know there's a lot of safety concerns. A lot of people have been stranded. Are there any plans to activate the Flood Ops Center and any other concrete plans to mitigate flooding, especially for those people who are hurting right now?
Yes, we are activated and continue to staff up. We are working with the locals to assist them, RD 800 in that area there, and any needs they have.
The last time the Flood Ops Center was activated was in 2019 for 4 days. In 2017, the center was active for 151 days. That was the year of the Oroville Dam crisis, where nearly 200,000 people living downstream from the dam were told to leave their homes.
And sadly, some people are still in the dark tonight from the last storm. Take a look. That includes Dana Ulrich in Stockton. She lost power around 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve and found a power line laying across her backyard. She called PG&E, but Dana says no one answered. Then she called police, who called PG&E. She says they did eventually come to her home, but claimed the problem was a transformer. They couldn't fix it, and so they left. And she is still waiting.
I have a 105-year-old house, so it's colder inside than it is outside most of the time. I've been sleeping with my twin sister Dawn just for body heat, just to make sure that we don't get too cold. We just have lots of blankets, and I just am doing the best I can.
And she's not alone. Dana says PG&E told her she would likely be without power for at least a week. Meanwhile, SMUD says they are still trying to restore power tonight as well.
But the company says continued hazardous conditions like flooding and road closures are hampering ability to assess and make accurate estimated restoration times. Our Candace Red caught up with one family still waiting.
Susie Nielsen, who lives in Sacramento, says she's been without power since New Year's Eve because of the strong storm.
It's too cold to spend much time here and dark.
Nielsen says she's been waiting patiently for SMUD to restore power.
I'm getting like one call from SMUD a day, automated, just say, and it's not very helpful.
The SMUD outage map shows the power will be back on by Wednesday morning.
You're going to be on camera.
Until then, Nielsen says she checked into a hotel to stay warm, forcing her to leave her cats at home in the dark.
It's like $110 a night.
At this point, she says the power outage is costing her big.
Because I dumped out all the food yesterday from the refrigerator and the freezer before I left. At least $100 worth of food.
My power did go out.
Elaine Jackson, who lives next door, says SMUD eventually restored the power at her home, but she's concerned about elderly neighbors still in the dark.
Another woman who's 100 years old who is actually blind, who lives here outside of the court, that she's been driving around with her son, I'm told, to stay warm, and she's on oxygen.
With Sacramento County expecting another round of storms,
all the wires, the telephone poles, that's another thing too.
Jackson says she's worried about the possibility of downed trees, power lines, and flooding too. Jackson says the community is hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst.
This community, a lot of people knows each other. It's been around for a long time, and so they are checking on each other.
Crews still need to replace 60 power poles, which takes about 8 hours each to complete. And remember to download the free ABC 10 app so you can track the weather anytime, anywhere on your phone. You can also submit your weather videos and pictures on the app to be featured on our newscasts and our website, abc10.com.